It's like gothy hedgehog metal.
It's like anthropomorphic Knuckles. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of the Quarantine Sessions, where I chat to people a lot cooler than myself in the wonderful land of lockdown. And my guest this week is a member of one of the UK's most exciting acts today, whose musical dexterity is only matched by their mesmerising live shows. They also happen to be, arguably, the most handsomest band performing today. I am, of course, talking to Hendo from Sertraline.
Yo, what's happening, dude? Thank you. Very kind words.
We try. We try to make the intros just as brown nosy as possible. But anyway, how are you doing in these strange times?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. It's tricky and odd, but I'm getting used to it. I'm actually playing a lot more music than I probably usually should do. I should play a lot more and practice a lot more, but I'm finding myself picking up even my bass or one of my guitars and just jamming for a long time in between working, because in my real life I'm actually get to work from home, which is good. But yeah, I'm managing. It's just strange.
It certainly is. The more I've talked to people during these lockdown sessions, is routine seems to be the one thing that if you can get hold of a fairly decent routine, then it's not too bad. But otherwise, just all the days just end up blurring into one anyway. So are you finding that sort of having sort of the day job as well as, having more time to practice musically is giving you more of a routine then?
Yeah. I mean, at first I found it hard with the whole routine thing because I'm very much a creature of habit. I like having, getting out of bed at a certain time, having breakfast, going to work, and having that whole thing. And I come home, I have tea straight away, and then practice, whatever. And for the first maybe couple of weeks, it was a case of I had zero routine, and I was getting like maybe 3 hours sleep a night, and I was feeling like hell. It was horrific. But now I've got something solid down. I've got like sort of, I do my work from 8:30. Lunchtime, I'll probably jam on a guitar or whatever for maybe half an hour, eat some food, back into work, and then I'll go for a run. Then I'll jam some more in the evening and play some games, hang out with the family, with my kids and stuff. So yeah, I've got it nailed down now. But now I'm worried that now I've got a routine, it's back to work, and it's like, oh man,
I'm really not looking forward to that. But anyway, for those unfortunate few who aren't aware, could you please just quickly introduce Sertraline?
Yeah, so Sertraline, we are from the north of England. We class ourselves as sort of melodic, progressive tech metal as our vibe that we go for. We're a 5-piece. We have 2 guitarists. We got a drummer, me, bass player, obviously the cornerstone of the band.
The most important member.
Yeah, and our vocalist Lizzie. And yeah, I think that's it, really.
Very good, very good. And in the effort of just getting to know each other a little bit better, because we're obviously all friends here. If you could be a type of sandwich, what kind of sandwich would you be?
That's probably one of the best interview questions I've ever been asked.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to say something complex, but I'm really not that kind of person. I'm super simple. I'll go with Marmite, and a lot of people who know me will agree with this. You either love me or you hate me.
That's very fair, very honest. Yeah, we've had a few people that have described their music as a Marmite sandwich, but we've never had someone personally describe themselves as Marmite. So that is a first here.
Yeah, I'm very aware of it as well.
Anyway, at the time of recording, we are less than a month away from the release of your new EP, Clouded Minds and Silver Lines. What can people expect from this release?
Well, if you've been following us over the sort of past 6 years, I'd expect a complete turnaround and change in what you're used to hearing from us. It's a completely different product, completely different music. If you haven't heard us before, then stand by. You're in for a treat. I'm still buzzing off it. It's, yeah, I have no words.
Well, that's good. If you're going to release some music, you want to be the biggest fan and be excited about it. So I've been fortunate enough to have an early listen of it, and we've reviewed it at upsideDownShark.com. And I've got to say, personally, I think it's your best release to date. I think it after listening to your entire discography for a while now, I think it is that culmination of everything that's sort of made it great before, and it's just been refined and evolved. And yeah, I think all of not perks, but all of the reasons why you'd listen to Sertraline are all there, but amped up to 11 is probably my very bad, very ad-libbed review of it. But...
Well, no, I think you've nailed it pretty well, to be honest, because we've all been fans of this style of music for quite a long time, and what we originally wrote and the stuff off Guilty EP are sort of, you can hear parts of that in the new EP. So probably saying completely different is not quite right, but if you don't understand sort of the nuances in the old stuff, you won't get it in the new stuff, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. There's little bits and pieces of parts of the song structure which are relevant and complement the old stuff. And yeah, it's weird. It's one of the things that we looked at in the writing process as well, was that we don't want it. This is what we want to do, but if we're too different, it's not going to make sense for us. And it's kind of, that's where we went with it, really.
So was the writing process much different from previous releases? Yeah,
very, very different. I'd probably say more difficult as well, because we've never written like this, and none of us in the band throughout any of our music careers had written like this before. The first two EPs were all written in a studio. We rented our own studio, and that was like our home for them first two EPs. And we just get in the room and we turn up with riff ideas, or we just jam it out and we make some riffs and some tunes and stuff like that. This time we had, it was, I'd probably say Simon, our drummer, and Tom, our guitarist, would throw ideas into a OneDrive folder. And we'd discuss things either over a weekend, having a meeting or a practice, or over Skype or Facebook chats or whatever. And we'd all put our impressions in there. And we've all got facilities to record at home as well. So we'd jam our parts, learn our parts, and then lay it all onto a track, on a scratch track. And then once it's complete, we move on to the next one. And we'd never done that before. We'd always been in the room together and kind of shaped the song that way. Whereas this time, like maybe for some songs, Simon would write the complete thing. So he'd not just write the drums, he'd write the guitars, he'd write all the bass, he'd do the lot. And there was times where we had to go, Simon, that is not possible. I don't have 18 fingers. That chord does not exist, mate. But yeah, it was very strange. But this is what's come out of it. You know, it was kind of, we all had our own space to think about the direction that we want the song to go in, and it all came together and went in the direction, and we were all, you know, singing off the same hymn sheet, so to speak.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you all live fairly far apart geographically?
Yeah, so I actually live in the Midlands. I live in sunny Stoke-on-Trent. And we've got Mike in Manchester, Lizzie's up Leeds way, Tom is up Leeds way, and our drummer Simon is in York. It was a lot more extreme before. Simon used to live just on the outskirts, I think, of North London.
Wow.
If we had like a Scotland gig or something, the drive to do it, don't book any more gigs up north.
But I suppose that means that in a way you are kind of quarantine proof, because you've already sort of had this way of working remotely nailed down since before this all kicked off. So has it been much of a disruption in terms of sort of the songwriting and jamming process as to what you would normally be doing beforehand?
Not really. No, I still get messages every now and then off Simon saying, "Guys, check the OneDrive." They'll be like, "Can you stop writing songs, please?" No, it's not that bad. It kind of works for us, you know. The only place where we feel the sting is actually doing our craft out in front of crowds of people. Definitely. You know, that's the sad one. But yeah.
Well, hopefully this is only a temporary situation. But one track on the EP, you have to forgive me for if I've formatted it wrong, but it's 2205. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's right.
So the lyrics in there, I've picked out a couple of lines. Alien sounds invading our safe place. Hear them every day. Replay the terror in your eyes. And I want to know, is this allegorical, or has a member of Sertraline had a close encounter with an alien and felt the only safe way to tell the world is through the medium of tech metal?
That's amazing. No, there's actually there is a story behind 2205, behind the lyrics. Quite a interesting, well, I say interesting, terrifying story, really. The reason why Lizzie wrote it is because Lizzie was actually at the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester.
Oh God, I feel terrible already.
No. You weren't to know. And yeah, it's about that, about the experience. Yeah.
Fair enough. Wow.
Well, I do like I think your explanation is what we should use in interviews instead.
Well, I mean, obviously, it is a very, very serious and traumatic origin story, really. But maybe, in a way, if you guys were comfortable doing this, it could be like the Joker's backstory, where every time you say it, it's a completely different tale, and there's never one aligning story.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
There you go. You can have that one for free. You can have that one for free.
You can have it like, you know, the first time I tried a food I don't like.
There you go. That's two already. Yeah. So you, as we meant to say, we can't. No one can tour at the moment, but you are known for your incredible live shows. But I want to know, what is the craziest thing you've ever experienced, either touring or playing live?
The craziest thing I've experienced would probably be, I think live would be, we played with a band, Ward 14, I think they're called. Excuse me if I've got that wrong. They've got Roman numerals in the name, and my maths is terrible. I say maths, just basic numeracy skills are terrible.
Latin? Who does that in 2020?
Yeah, exactly. No, so they put a very, very interesting, cool show on. And we were, the first time we played with them, the singer brought out, it was meant to look like an operating table with what I think it was a mannequin on or something. And she had a chainsaw and she was attacking it, and there was blood everywhere. And yeah,
that's incredible.
Interesting. It was like, okay.
I mean, that's going the extra mile.
Yeah, and there was a band that, when we played Bloodstock a couple of years ago, there was a band playing on the Sophie Lancaster stage on the Sunday. It was the last band. I can't remember what they were called, but they came out on stage and there was like fire everywhere, and there was like mock-up like crucifixions and all this. Oh man, it was insane. I'm pretty sure the guy had a pig's head as well, or something.
That was black metal.
Yeah, it was all of the black metal. Impossibly black metal. Yeah, that was insane. I was going to say, one of my favorite
stories regarding black metal is I saw Mayhem at the tail end of last year, and I'm sure you may have seen, but our logo is a blue cartoon shark with a bright hot pink background, and we had these stickers, and in a slightly inebriated state, I thought it'd be a really good idea to go and give loads of black metal leather adorned fans pink stickers with a blue cartoon shark on it. It went down fairly well. There was a lot of people that tried to eat it for some reason, but most people were pretty chill. Black metal people can be nice as long as they're not, the racist ones.
Yeah. Did they have lots of spikes on?
Yes.
Because black metal people really like spiky stuff, don't they?
They do. It's the corpse paint that spikes, or just a jacket that is more patches than denim. That's the other one.
It's like gothy hedgehog metal.
It's like anthropomorphic Knuckles.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's an image I'm never going to get out of my head. But you were recently featured in All Press's top 20 UK bands to keep an eye on in 2020, which is incredible. But is there anything left on your band bucket list that you'd like to achieve?
Oh yeah, there's still loads. There's still a lot that we want to do, and we kind of, if there's something we want to do, we get our game on and we do it.
That's the best attitude.
There's a lot of tours that we want to do, like big tours, like US tours. We'd love to hit Australia and stuff. Europe was ticked off, thankfully, but I'd still love to do that again. That'd be great. And there's lots of big festivals and big stages that we'd like to do as well. Awesome. So there's still a lot more to come.
Very exciting. But here at UDS, we talk more than just about music. We talk about the breadth of pop culture, movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, everything under the sun. So with that in mind, if you could have a Sertraline song featured in anything, whether it be any of the above or like a wrestling theme, anything like that, what would it be?
Oh, 100% it'd be a Hideo Kojima game. That would be
very good choice.
Like maybe, I don't know, another Metal Gear or something, which would be wicked. And our song is like the opening tune or something, or like a boss battle music. That'd be sick.
Well, apparently he's back, or there's talks that he's going to still be doing Silent Hills again. So maybe you can get him on the phone and get on the new Silent Hill.
Yes.
There we go. Make it happen, Hideo. Well, moving on again, I'm going to do a segment which we've tried a few times, and it normally goes down as poorly as it is plagiarized. So forgive me if this is a complete Led Zeppelin. It's called Desert Island Disc. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's a bold new concept, but we'll run with it. So you are stranded on a desert island. You've got one album, one film, and one luxury item that you can take with you. What would they be?
Okay. My one album would have to be the Haunted self-titled album, I think. And what film did you say?
Yes, film and luxury item.
Film. Film would have to be True Romance. That's because it's my all-time favorite movie. Love it. It's great.
Very good.
And I can watch it over and over again. And I have watched it over and over again.
Very handy for a desert island.
Yeah. And luxury item. I'd probably take my bed, if that's allowed.
Yeah, that's one. It's one of those things that you don't really consider about as a luxury item, but it would definitely be a luxury
in that situation.
Yeah, you're left with either sand or coconuts.
Yeah, but then it's got me thinking, like, should I have said like DVD player so I can actually watch the film?
Nah, I think I think it's normally assumed that you have the capacity to listen to and watch the album and film. So there's no better place to listen to music other than obviously at a gig than in your bed and watch films. The same deal.
Exactly. I could do both at the same time. I could watch True Romance to the Haunted self-titled album.
There you go. Will it blend? You decide, internet. God, I'm bad at this. So we like to advocate positivity here at UDS, and one of the ways we do that is through inspirational quotes. One of my favorites is, "I can't believe I ate the whole thing," because normally if you think that, then you will eat the whole thing, and it doesn't matter what context we're talking about, you can eat the whole thing.
You can.
But what would it be Sertraline's inspirational quote to share with the world?
Sertraline's as our inspirational quote as a band.
It can be personal or it can be yours, and I open the floor to you.
I think our inspirational quote as a band, I don't really know if it's inspirational, but we tend to say "shut up, Mike" a lot, but it's not really that positive either. That's because we're always telling our guitarists to shut up. But Yeah, short mic.
There you go. There you go. And now
it is positive. It is positive because if Mike gets too much time to talk, usually it's whatever comes out of his mouth is ridiculous.
You never know. There might be a stadium show one time in the future where everyone, like 30,000 people, are all shouting that back to you. So
yeah, sure.
one day. Okay, as we sort of wrap up the interview, obviously none of us can really plan for the rest of the year. It's almost a complete write-off. But the best you can, what does the rest of 2020 have in store for the band?
So right now, writing. That's something we're focusing on. It'd be nice to have more music out sort of as soon as we can, really. And what better time to do it than now? And all being well, a buttload of gigs because we're all dying to get out there and play these new tunes. Fingers crossed.
Cool. So the last question we always end with is we are UDS, which stands for Upside Down Shark. Don't ask me why it's Upside Down Shark. It's just something that's stuck and we just run with it. But with that in mind, Hendo, what would be your favorite shark? And it can be real, it can be fictional, it can be from a movie, it can be from nature, but whatever it is, what is your favorite shark?
My favorite shark? It's got to be the hammerhead shark.
Good shout.
It's pretty solid because it can eat you and it can hammer nails into walls.
2 for 1. I mean,
exactly.
That's evolution at its finest, right there.
Yeah.
Good answer.
I'm all about productivity and yeah.
That's it. If there's one thing I like in nature, it's efficiency.
Exactly.
Where can people find you online? Obviously, gigs aside, obviously you'll be touring, fingers crossed, hopefully in future. But for now, where can people find Sertraline?
So if you want to hear our music, Spotify is the one. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, YouTube as well. We putting quite a lot on YouTube at the minute. We might have some more content coming up shortly as well. Yeah, everywhere. Our website, wearesertraline.com. You can find us there. iTunes, Deezer, all of them. All of the things. But probably not MySpace. But maybe. No. Who knows? In fact, you know what? I'm going to make us a MySpace account.
There you go. I mean,
I'm bringing it back.
That's a gap in the market. That's the thing. The late 2000s are going to become vintage soon, so like things like MySpace, Bebo, it's coming back. So you should be the head of that wave.
Yeah, it'd be hipster to be on MySpace, wouldn't it? I might do it. I'm probably gonna have to grow a swinge first and maybe put on some guy liner and do some like poses. I can't do them. Like emo poses.
That sort of stuff. Yeah. Just cover your face and everything. Oh, what an image to roll out with. But anyway, thank you so much for speaking to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're quite welcome, dude. Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
And anyone listening at home, you can listen to Clouded Minds and Silver Lines on the 15th of May on all good streaming platforms or wherever you listen to good music. And if you've enjoyed watching this interview and you want to see more, just give us a subscribe. I'm really bad at this plugging stuff. But just
well, we just dropped our latest single today. It came out today, which is actually called Isolation. And it was named before any of this happened.
There you go. Not only is that serendipitous, but that's how you plug something.
Yeah, we dropped that today. That's over on Spotify. It's on. There's a lyric video up on YouTube. So yeah.
There you go. That's your homework. Go and listen to that now.